Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're officially diving into an updated PvP tier list for the month of September. With that being said though, guys, keep in mind that this is strictly based on the top tier meta and the most popular cookies being used at the current state of the game. As you guys can see, we've got SS all the way down to D tier, and we've got a specialty tier that's specifically for situational cookies. Alrighty, so then starting us off with SS tier, we've got Wildberry Cookie, we've got Financier, we've got Eclair, we've got Espresso, we've got Caramel Arrow, we've got the brand new Cream Unicorn or recently new Cream Unicorn, we've got the brand new Captain Caviar, and then last but not least, that's going to be the brand new legendary Black Pearl Cookie. All of these cookies are going to be the best of the best, the holy grail cookies that you're going to see used in the top tier for the overall arena. Everything from masters above essentially is going to be running these individual cookies, and these are your best bet when it comes to investing in cookies at the current state of the game. Now moving on to S tier, here we've got Frost Queen, we've got Sea Fairy, we've got Dark Cacao, and then we've got Vampire. Now, this is going to be it for our overall S tier. Again, keep in mind, this is going to be purely based on the current state of the game and the current meta. You're going to be seeing these cookies used in hand depending on what cookies you have available and what team compositions that you are going up against at the top tiers in the overall arena. Vampire Espresso compositions are still being utilized a lot. You got Dark Cacao being utilized as one of the frontline tanks, especially on like Caramel Arrow teams to bust up, the current, Black Pearl Cookie team comps and Caviar team comps. You also have Frost Queen, and you also have, Sea Fairy being utilized in different team comps, once again, to kind of counter whatever the current, main team is being utilized around the brand new Black Pearl Legendary. So now officially diving into the situational tier. Now, if you are brand new to the channel here, situational tier normally encompasses cookies that are very, very good in a specific team composition. However, outside of that team composition, they're not currently being utilized, heavy enough to be an S tier or even SS tier. But again, they are utilized in a specific team composition, and then they're an absolute build for that comp. So as you can see here, we've got a lot of summoners. We literally have the entire summoners comp here, and that's going to be because summoners is really good as a counter team for certain enemies you go up against or certain opponents in the overall arena. However, if you're not building a summoners comp, you're not really going to see these cookies being utilized outside of somebody like Cotton Cookie, because if you don't have a Cream Unicorn, then you're going to see a lot of Cotton Cookies being utilized, and if you don't have a Cotton Cookie, then you're going to see some, Parfaits being utilized, and then eventually you'll work your way down to the other healers in the game. But for the most part, Cream Unicorn's relatively new. Most new players will have at least one copy of Cream Unicorn, and that should be who they are using for their primary healer in the overall arena anyways. That's going to be the reason why all of these guys are utilized here in situational. Kumiho is going to be utilized again for the Kumi Scam comp, but outside of the Kumi Scam comp, you're not really going to build Kumiho, and it's not really advised to build Kumiho. And then not only that, you got Sorbet, which has fallen off a little bit, but not too much. Now, there's still going to be a very good, once again, a counter team to some of like the double tank comps or the single tank comps to eliminate that front line as quickly as possible, especially paired with somebody like Pumpkin Pie. But overall, you don't really see a whole lot of two Sorbets being utilized currently at the state of the game. Obviously, if that does change, I will then go back and update this list. Now, officially diving into A tier here, that's going to be Clotted Cream. We've got Alphagato, again, Alphagato speed comp. Clotted Cream can be utilized on certain counter teams depending on what you're going up against, but again, not going to be really popular at the current state of the game. We've got Hollyberry, we've got Herb Cookie, again, not a bad healer if you don't have the other ones. Hollyberry is pretty much not being utilized at all right now in the overall arena. Maybe the low ranks if you don't have any other frontline tanks. Yam is a really good secondary tank option, I guess is the way that I would look at that. Definitely going to be a decent one to use up against like a Caramel Arrow team if you happen to be going up against that and you've got a purple Yam built versus, somebody like Financier or Wildberry or even Dark Cacao. We've got T-Knight. T-Knight comps are kind of hit or miss here and there. They're not really running rampant or anything like that, but you can run into a T-Knight comp at especially lower tiers. And they're not going to be the worst cookie to invest in or to utilize on your team if you have nothing else. We've got Tiger Lily here as well. We've got Pomegranate. And then last but not least here, that's going to be Blackberry Cookie. Now, Blackberry Cookie is a very, very underrated cookie. If you guys did not see my underrated blackberry less than 3-minute video, definitely go check it out. I'll try to remember to put it up here on screen for you. Absolutely worth a watch. Blackberry cookie, even as a rare cookie, is a very, very good cookie that I feel every single player would benefit from actually building, and they're very easy to build. So 100% deserves to be here in A tier. If you've got nothing else, you can obviously build a blackberry cookie, run it on your team as a DPS unit. You're not going to regret it, especially at a 5-star ascension. Alrighty, so then officially diving into B tier here. Now, this is going to house the most amount of cookies, so just bear with me here. We've got Squid Ink, we've got Moon Rabbit, we've got Milk, even with the magic candy. Yes, Milk has not been able to work their way too far up the overall tier list. We've got Dark Choco, very good for PvE, but not very good for PvP. We've got Almond Cookie, hasn't really made his way back into the overall meta, which is a quite shame. I definitely think we'll see, especially when a magic candy comes out for Almond, I definitely think we'll see them move up the overall tier list. You got Werewolf Cookie, you got Black Raisin, you got Cocoa, you got Mala Sauce, again, good for, you know, some guild boss compositions and maybe Cookie Alliance, but nothing really outside of that. We've got Pastry Cookie here, we've got Licorice, we've got Lilac, you know, decent for like an old school speed, you know, meta comp. Not really coming back here. We've got Rye Cookie, even with a magic candy being added into the game. I'm pretty sure she only saw meta for like 48 hours, and it was actually a quite shame. I did build an attack speed comp. I loved it. It's a really fun composition to just watch the health dwindle down. But outside of that, though, it's really lackluster, unfortunately, compared to, you know, Black Pearl, the Caviar compositions, Vampire Espresso. I mean, not only that, like even Caramel Arrow and Eclair compositions are absolutely dominating. We got Red Velvet, Poison Mushroom, Mango. We got Snow Sugar here. We got, you know, Mint Choco. We got Maddie Cookie, again, kind of going back to that old school speed meta comp. We've got Lilac, we've got Cream Unicorn, we got Cream Puff, we got Twizzly Gummy, we've got Raspberry Cookie here, we've got, scroll down a little bit, we've got the Sparkling Cookie, we got Strawberry Crepe, and then last but not least, guys, we've got Cherry Blossom. Now again, keep in mind, I'm not saying you can't utilize these cookies. This tier list is strictly designed based on the current meta and the top population that we're seeing, you know, cookies being utilized with, you know, Grandmasters, you know, your Masters, 4, 3, 2, 1, all those top tiers. If you're looking to climb the top tiers in the overall arena, these are not going to be the cookies to invest in or utilize for your overall climb. Instead, you want to try to focus on everything above, in my opinion, you know, situational. But obviously, if you got to use something from A tier, or maybe you could utilize some stuff from A tier to, like I said, directly counter something that you're going up against, especially if you run out of like a free refresh and you got to beat the team. So you either lose against the team or you tried to counter that team utilizing what you have. And then the last two tiers we've got, and that's going to be C and D. Don't invest in these cookies, guys, for PvE, PvP, anything. They're just not worth the overall investment. Yes, I've got Sonic Tails here above Fig and Chili Pepper. That's strictly because of their class. They're ambush cookies. Their skills are decent. And unfortunately, if you're a new player in the game, you can no longer get Sonic and Tails. But maybe you could be a returning player and that's all you got. Then by all means, use them until you get something better. But there are way better cookies than C and D tier. So definitely make sure you don't invest in them. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be completing the updated PvP tier list for the month of September. As I've already reiterated a bazillion times, this is based on the current state of the game, the most popular cookies being utilized at the top tier ranks at the current meta. Obviously, I will come back to this list and update this as things do start to change. More compositions come out and more cookies being utilized. We'll obviously bring you guys a updated tier list. You guys let me know what your thoughts are down below on the overall tier list. Maybe you would make some changes. Let me know down below in the comments, not only for myself, but for other players so they can see exactly why or what they could potentially be using and building. With that being said, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Cookie Run Kingdom related. Also, guys, I invite you to join the Discord. You will find that link provided down below in the description. But with that being said, as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.